Hello everyone, welcome to Bitcoin This Week. And on today's program, Coinrail suffers a $40 million hack. CFTC subpoena Bitstamp, Coinbase, Itbit and Kraken. Steve Wozniak claims Bitcoin should be the currency of the internet. And Bitcoin developers propose new protocol for mining. Now first, we have some news about Matt Corallo. He's one of the developers of Bitcoin Core. Now he's proposing to improve the Bitcoin network. How? Well, his idea apparently is to decentralize Bitcoin mining by adopting a new protocol. The BetterHash Mining Protocols was published on Github, and it addresses a lot of current concerns affecting the Bitcoin network with regards to becoming a more centralized network for mining. Now, apparently at the moment, Stratum is the most used protocol, but the problem really is the design lacks major components such as those related to mining pools, for example, which limit the diversity of blocks. Now, according to Matt Corallo, though, this allows mining pools and their operators to have a wrongful influence in the network's updates and affect the resistance to censorship of Bitcoin. Now, for this reason, the developer wants to replace Stratum with a new protocol that divides the construction of blocks and the execution of payments into two protocols known as work and pool.
Steve Wozniak, now the co-founder of Apple, claims that Bitcoin should be the currency of the internet. He hopes that Bitcoin will become the native currency of the internet, as well as Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter and Square. It was during the Money 2020 conference in Amsterdam. Wozniak, who previously supported Ethereum, what's interesting, now he supports the technological development of the entire market, despite not being an investor himself. Wozniak claimed that only Bitcoin represented true digital gold and was decentralized.
Exactly. He says he's not an investor himself, but he's always appeared to be confident about this.
He's confident about Bitcoin, and previously he was confident about Ethereum. And
Exactly. And to remember, last month when he was speaking in Vienna, he said at the We Are Developers Conference, the World Congress rather, that there was the cryptocurrencies was the next major IT revolution. So we'll have to see if that happens. Now, the next news comes from the United States Commodity Futures Trading Commission, which has subpoenaed several major cryptocurrency exchanges, including Bitstamp, Coinbase, Itbit, and Kraken. Now, it's all part of their investigation into price manipulation of Bitcoin. Now, according to some reports, the CFTC's investigation was motivated by a lack of response to a request sent by the Chicago Mercantile Exchange to those crypto exchanges we just mentioned. The CME requested information such as specific times of trading, and apparently the exchanges failed to comply, only submitting a few hours worth of data. Now, last December, back in 2017, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange dived into Bitcoin futures, and they made the request to the exchanges in January this year, after the first futures contracts were settled. So we got some reaction to this from Jesse Powell, who's the CEO of Kraken, one of the platforms mentioned. Now, the subpoena represents a newly declared oversight of how Bitcoin prices form future prices and has, quote, the spot exchanges questioning the value and cost of their index participation. So a very interesting story. We'll see how that develops.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Coinrail suffers a $40 million hack. The South Korean crypto exchange has informed its users that it has suffered a hack up to the value of approximately $40 million. The cyber intrusion resulted in ERC20-based token being stolen from the platform. These included the NPXS token from the PandaX project, ATC from Aston, and NPER project's token. Following the hack, Coinrail alerted users to the address associated with the hacking episode, Fake Phishing 1432, which has apparently tried to sell over 26 million of NPXS tokens on IDEX. According to Coinrail and PandaX, IDEX has frozen the assets sent from the address, and the NPXS tokens are not liquidated. As for the other stolen tokens, it appears that they have been sent to trading to EtherDelta, which is another decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. The hacking episode seems to have compromised over 30% of Coinrail's reserves, although they claim that most of the tokens are currently frozen. As for the remaining 70%, Coinrail assures its users that the reserves are safe and they have been moved to the cold wallet, which is not accessible through the internet.
Yeah, so certainly one of this week's biggest news pieces, and it certainly might have had an effect on the prices. Although Bitcoin had a somewhat stable week, it closed down at about $1,000 from its previous value. I believe, Maria, you got the prices?
Yeah, I got the figures. It started the week at $7,600, only to drop slightly on Tuesday, where it held until Thursday, where prices went back to the $7,700 mark. By Friday, Bitcoin was at the $7,600 mark, but experienced a massive loss on Sunday, reaching its lowest point of $6,800.
Yeah, those prices really dived, and it was most likely affected by the ongoing investigation by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission into the price manipulation in the Bitcoin market that we mentioned earlier. Comments made by Jay Clayton, the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, with regards to the classification of almost all ICOs as securities, may also have played a part in the sudden drop as well. Although the major detonator really, without a doubt, was Coinrail's hacking episode. And that's all we have time for you this week.
I'm Maria Vovchok.
I'm Tom Bell, and see you next time.